Hey, I'm Dr. Deering with the Deering Clinic. I want you to know about the 12 signs that you need a chiropractic adjustment. Of course, we have limited range of motion in the spine. I can't turn my head one way as far as the other. I also have stiffness with that. I might have posture fatigue if I can't hold my shoulders and my neck back for more than 30 seconds or a minute. That's a definite sign. And those will all lead to joint and muscle pain problems over time. I often hear about this chronic pain that sits in the top of the shoulder that eventually will tend to spread up the neck or down the back or out the shoulder until we end up with a big cramp here and maybe even a more significant nerve pain that runs down the arm. And same goes with the lower back and the hip. We'll end up having hip and lower back problems that tend to occur together, and eventually they'll start to spread down the leg. Neck and shoulder pain, of course, but my favorite I like to talk about is big toe pain and foot pain. We often have this foot pain when we step out of bed in the morning, or that big toe pain that nags you throughout the day. The more you walk, the more it hurts. And that happens because we end up having postural weaknesses and abnormalities in the way that we move and stand, and that often leads to one of our hips being pretty weak. We'll step on that hip and the hip kind of sways out more than me staying over top of the hip. And during our gait cycle, as my hip collapses, my knee will also collapse inward, which then puts a bunch of pressure on my arch of my foot. So if the arch of my foot, it should look like this, and this is my big toe, and I start putting a bunch of pressure on my arch because my knee and hip are collapsing, then that's going to be a big problem for the big toe, because then I start to leverage that big toe differently, and it pulls and strains on the joint in a way that is not mechanically sound. So we want to restore this postural alignment and restore any postural weaknesses that may be there, so that we don't have things that show up in our body, like our shoes that wear unevenly. I got wear and tear on the outside of one shoe and on the inside of the other shoe. That's a definite sign that we are out of alignment, that we need to pay attention to that before it becomes a bigger problem. Neck stiffness that is chronic will ultimately turn into brain fog and fatigue, because we don't have as much blood flow getting to our brain as we could, as if our neck had plenty of mobility and the blood flow is able to flow through there appropriately. There are plenty of studies on this particular phenomena where neck stiffness and chronic shoulder problems also have brain fog with them. We also have eye strain, we have headaches, we have irritability and difficulty sleeping, which is a big deal. So pay attention to the 12 signs that you need an adjustment. I hope you found this helpful, and we'll have more for you soon.